You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disaster.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Pressure is building fast in the UK to strip Prince Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. Reports say public frustration has hit a breaking point, especially after what many are calling Harry's latest public disaster. And now the pushback is getting louder by the day. The second whispers started circling Westminster. It felt like something big was coming. At first, it sounded like the usual Harry versus the Crown noise. Same conflict, different week. But then it escalated in an instant. This wasn't a sloppy online pile-on or a tabloid-fed outrage cycle. This was official. A real petition tied to real power landing in the House of Lords. And that detail changes everything.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title.
Because this isn't PR drama anymore. It's an institutional move to sever Harry's final official link to the family he left behind. This is about control, legacy, and whether someone can walk away from the monarchy, monetize the name in California, and still keep the authority that comes with a royal title. The story stopped being personal a long time ago. Now it's a constitutional fight, playing out in front of a country that once adored him and is now watching him get dismantled. What makes this moment different is who's driving it.
Oh my God, I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
This isn't tabloid noise, it's Parliament. And that shift says everything. What started as quiet tension is now a full-blown identity crisis for the monarchy's boundaries. If this petition succeeds, Harry doesn't just lose a title. He loses his last safety rope to the institution. No soft landing, no still royal, just distant. This is real, historic, and moving fast. Even I didn't believe it at first. It sounded like clickbait, but it's not. The House of Lords, the backbone of royal tradition, is stepping forward to remove the Duke of Sussex title.
Financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to, I think is absolutely infuriating in Buckingham Palace. It was agreed with Queen Elizabeth that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior members of the royal.
And here's the part that matters. To Harry, that title isn't ceremonial, it's leverage. Take it away, and the entire structure he's been relying on starts to collapse. That title opens doors, Hollywood rooms, business deals, elite access. It's the stamp that keeps their brand elevated above ordinary celebrity. Remove it, and the weight disappears. This isn't a gentle warning. This is the first domino. And it feels like the establishment finally decided to draw a hard line. The message is blunt. Enough is enough. And this isn't just a couple of officials chasing headlines. The petition is surging. Tens of thousands of signatures rolling in across the UK. That kind of momentum doesn't happen accidentally.
By Find Out Now has revealed that most of the public is supporting the King in this family feud, ongoing family feud, after Harry's bombshell BBC interview. It follows the Court of Appeal's decision to not overturn the ruling on his security in the UK.
This isn't background noise anymore. It's organized pressure. Parliament isn't brushing it off either. The Lords and the Commons aren't just acknowledging the outrage, they're actively pushing the process forward. And that's when the stakes become unmistakable. Because now they're reaching for a law so old it hasn't been used since World War I. The Titles Deprivation Act of 1917. Back then, it was used against royals who sided with Britain's enemies. And now lawmakers are drawing a chilling comparison, saying that even if Harry hasn't committed treason on paper, his actions feel like they've crossed a national line.
But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the things, the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches. She has got to. The Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I end.
That alone shows how deep this has gone. Public outrage has hardened into political action. And when both Parliament and the public are aligned, there's rarely a way back. This is where the story detonates. Harry didn't just leave for peace. He got louder, more public, more political. And in royal terms, that's toxic. Royals survive by staying neutral, but Harry waded into culture wars, criticized foundational ideas like free speech, aligned himself with partisan-adjacent groups, and backed causes that clash with the monarchy's posture.
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Now lawmakers are using a brutal term, title laundering. The accusation is simple. He's using royal status as a tool to push agendas across the Atlantic. And that's not just embarrassing to the institution, it's a constitutional threat. Because once royal titles become political weapons, the entire system starts to crack. Parliament sees it as danger, not drama. And they're responding with the only things that truly scare a royal brand: law, history, and consequences.
She is relentless, she is shameless, and she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Since stepping back, Harry's clearest pattern has been exposure. Interviews, streaming deals, documentaries, memoirs, turning private conflict into public spectacle. At first, people watched because it felt revealing. Now they're watching because it feels relentless. He's aimed fire at his father, his brother, his stepmother. Even the late Queen, destroying the idea that this was ever about healing. And Parliament is now saying out loud what many people have already concluded.
Harry and Meghan, they have an issue when it comes to their memory and when it comes to the truth.
You can't torch the royal house and still expect to keep the keys. For years, Harry has used the title like armor, keeping the royal shine while attacking the institution from afar. But the patience is gone. MPS are framing it as symbolic treason, not legally criminal, but a direct insult to the system that gave him the power in the first place. The monarchy stayed quiet for years, but Parliament isn't waiting anymore, and they're not being gentle. Harry's reputation in the UK is collapsing, and the numbers are brutal. Majorities now want the title gone, and among older, more traditional voters, it's even higher.
It was very popular for being awful.
Prince William, he's reportedly furious after it emerged that Meghan Markle is still using her HRH title despite agreeing to drop the title when the Sussexes left royal duties.
Meghan Markle has been very brazen recently with the use of the HR.
Backlash isn't easing, it's accelerating. Every new headline, every fresh quote, every media appearance feels like gasoline on the fire. From California mansions to global TV screens, Harry stays visible. But the UK isn't watching with fascination anymore. They're watching with judgment. And this isn't just random anger. Committees are forming, debates are escalating, and the media cycle won't let go. The question is becoming unavoidable. Should someone who publicly attacks the monarchy still be allowed to carry a royal title? MPS are now asking the kind of questions institutions ask right before they act. This isn't just politics. It's tradition, respect, and the balance of power.
But Kinsey, you recently interviewed a friend of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take...
There is no trust when it comes to Prince Harry. And the picture he tries to paint with Queen Elizabeth, even saying during that BBC interview that the Queen wanted him to have this level of security, we're finding out the truth. And it's that she...
The crown isn't a decorative badge. It's a system that has survived wars, scandals, and revolutions because it guards its boundaries. And Harry is testing those boundaries in real time. Behind the scenes, insiders say the palace is quietly furious. Public debate is exploding. Petitions are multiplying. And the message keeps repeating, you can't have it both ways. Both. You can't tour the world with the crown's prestige while undermining the foundation it represents. And then there's the wild card that makes everything messier: Hollywood. Harry's star power is exactly why this has become a threat. Every deal, every podcast, appearance, or production reminds the world he's still royal, and not just royal, but royal with a message. That turns influence into leverage, and Parliament is signaling they won't tolerate it.
But of course, the real measure of success of both of them will be the same as it always has been. How much damage can they inflict on our royal family, on our monarchy? I said it before, I'll say it again tonight. King Charles should strip them of all their remaining titles and cast them out from any connection to the royal family. How could any of them trust them, as far as I could throw them? Because without it, they're just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
If Harry wants to play in politics, they're saying he can't do it wearing the crown. And now this isn't symbolic, it's legal. The Titles Deprivation Act is back on the table, and history is moving in real time. Every interview and every streaming scene is being treated like evidence, stacked into a case that this isn't gossip. It's constitutional conflict. Even inside Harry's circle, warnings are surfacing. Keep pushing, and the UK will isolate you completely. The House of Lords isn't watching passively. They're moving deliberately. The stage is set, the stakes are real, and this isn't fading. It's escalating toward a moment where the last tie to the crown could snap for good. That one line lands because it captures what so many people feel. The betrayal isn't that Harry left. It's that he left while still cashing in on the royal brand. And now even sympathetic voices are turning. This isn't one scandal. It's years of interviews, leaks, deals, and media tours aimed straight at the institution. Public opinion hasn't shifted. It's collapsed. And Parliament isn't acting alone. They're echoing a message already boiling in the streets. You walked away, you attacked, and now you're being cut off. Because Harry and Meghan didn't just step back. They built a business around it. Netflix, Spotify, books, everything stamped with Duke and Duchess branding. Critics call it title trafficking, selling influence while claiming privacy. Even the children's titles amplify the contradiction. This wasn't an exit, it was a strategy. And now Parliament's counter-message is simple. If you want the fame and money, drop the crown. Titles aren't clickbait, they're supposed to mean something. And to many in the UK, turning them into a marketing tool isn't just embarrassing, it's disrespect. Then it gets colder. Buckingham Palace stays quiet, and that silence is the play. King Charles doesn't want to look like a father punishing a son. He wants the institution to do it. And William reportedly isn't resisting. Because to him, this isn't family drama, it's protection. Imagine the rebrand. No His Royal Highness, just Mr. Harry Windsor. That's not a title tweak, that's a total collapse of mystique. If Parliament succeeds, Harry loses the final thread connecting him to royal power. Strip the title, and the illusion evaporates. The influence, the status, the mystique, gone. What's left is celebrity without authority, grievance without legitimacy. And Parliament understands that this is how you cut power at the root. Now the pressure is peaking. Headlines hit nonstop. Public fury is colliding with political machinery. Tens of thousands of signatures are pouring in from every corner of the UK, and it's no longer a social media stunt. It's grassroots anger meeting historic authority. Harry might be global famous, but at home his credibility is dissolving, and the law isn't just symbolic. A title is legal status, access, influence, positioning. Lose it, and everything changes. Deals land differently, appearances hit differently. The brand stops carrying royal weight. Inside the palace, the mood is described as tense, strategic, quietly ruthless. Charles stays above it, letting the institution absorb the impact. Because the message needs to be bigger than one man, silent but firm. That's the posture now. The argument is no longer about feelings. It's about the survival of the system. Polls show the country turning hard, and every new interview or Netflix drop just hands Parliament more ammunition. Step by step, the monarchy is making its point. You can't leverage the crown for fame, profit, and influence while attacking the institution that gives it meaning. Titles aren't negotiable. They aren't for sale. And for Harry, the loss isn't just a name. It's legacy, authority, and the aura that separates royalty from celebrity. Without it, the global stage shrinks. The protection fades. The identity changes. And history backs Parliament up. This has happened before. The same legal framework used in wartime. The same institutional logic used to sever those seen as incompatible with the crown. The rule is brutal but consistent. Attack the institution and you don't get to wear its prestige. Now Parliament has the law and the public has the momentum, and together they're moving. This isn't flashy outrage. It's old procedure. Paperwork, votes, motions, things that don't trend, but decide outcomes. When the title disappears, so does the fairy tale. And there's a kind of poetic justice in it. Harry didn't just walk away. He burned the bridge, tried to profit from the ashes. And now the institution he mocked is pushing back with the one thing money can't buy: legitimacy. This petition isn't gossip, it's judgment from the people Harry once claimed to represent. And for once, he may not get the last word. The crown is quiet, but it's speaking through Parliament and through decisive action. If that final tie snaps, every deal built on royal mystique could suddenly feel weightless. And that's the point.